Hello and welcome to the show. Now, I will be honest, I'm not a massive fan of most of the electric and hybrid nonsense that is out there in terms of cars. However, I do quite like the Tesla. The Model S is a very, very impressive vehicle. And you guys wanted to see me take one rallying. And I actually think that this could be quite fast when it comes to the rally course. So there is certainly potential for the Tesla to do pretty well. Now, it starts off as a very high A-class car, although it is already all-wheel drive. We are going to be wanting to put the rally tyres on. Only 1 PI difference between the rally and the race tyres. Yeah, we're going to want the rally tyres on. I think we're going to want as big a tyres as we can get as well. We've got the PI to be doing it. The reason why I do think that this car will be mighty fast is the torque in this is monstrous. There is a huge amount of torque in the Tesla. And I think that is going to be good for climbing up the hill. There's also plenty of power as well to go with it. We want some nice race brakes. We want the off-road suspension. Now, what we do next is perhaps an important conundrum. If we go for, I think we can actually, if we go over here, we want, because we really want to get this, because I want 927 torque in my car with almost 700 horsepower. Please, please, please have the PI to get the weight reduction as well. Yes, we can. Of course, the big downside to the Tesla is it is very, very heavy. I mean, to start with, it's almost 5,000 pounds. I mean, we're talking very heavy in terms of the cars that are running this in this series. With the weight reduction on, yeah, we get it down to 3,800. That's still a lot. You know, that's still a sizable amount of weight in the Tesla. And then we have, I guess we can go and put the driveline on the car. And then that's us out of things to do with the vehicle. Yeah, because we're fully upgraded all of that. I'm not changing the rims for any of the car. They've got to remain standard. We are fully modified. I wasn't actually quite expecting that. I was expecting to have to make a choice between power or weight reduction. But there we go. Yeah, we might not quite be at the top of S1 class. However, we have near enough 700 horsepower and over 900 torque. That is monumental amounts in our car. So the Model S, I do really think, could go very, very quickly. If, that is, it has the grip to carry the speed through the corners. So it is off to the Reservoir Trail with the Tesla. I will get 3 runs through this course in an attempt to beat a 2:32.7. That is the current fastest time set by the Hemi-Cuda. And it's all very quiet. And there's some noise as we go through a puddle. It's very weird not having to worry about gear changes. We can not quite be flat out, but not far from being flat out through that opening corner. It's good speed, actually, off of the bridge. I don't know what the gearing is like in the Tesla, I'll be honest with you, but it's getting up towards 140 miles an hour. Ooh, brakes. Brakes are a thing that we're going to have to be worrying about, I should think, with this vehicle. That is one of the downsides of it being heavy. It has the torque and the power to accelerate. It might not quite have the braking power to decelerate. We will have to wait and see how it goes. My brain is screaming at me that I should be changing gears. It is a very, very peculiar thing going on. However, the Tesla, pretty good through these corners. It is, you know, it's got enough grip. It's maintaining the corner speed that is so very, very important around this course. A little bit of oversteer from the car. Are we carrying plenty of speed up these hills? I think so, judging by the length of that jump as we now fire it through that quick chicane. Catch a little bit of oversteer as well. Into the water we go. It's not the best through the water. I think the Volvo is perhaps one of the happier cars. What was the Volvo? I think it was a Volvo that was doing 111 through the water. This is not far off. No, not far, about 108 miles an hour it was going to, as we take another jump. Make sure we get the car slowed down. It's just so eerily quiet racing this at such speed as well. Oh, I got that corner all wrong. That was That was my bad. I thought I could get away with chucking it around with a little bit more vigour than I actually could. We are going to run out very wide and in the wall ever so slightly. As I said, it's better through the water than some cars. I think we still are wanting to take that wider line. That little bit more weight is it's kind of keeping the car around under control. We saw problems with the Rolls-Royce with it still being thrown about a fair bit, and I think this Tesla could... Oh no! Oh, a mid-air tree hit. That was not so good through there. Up until that point, though, I think we were actually looking very good for a fast time with this car. Just got to, not jump into a tree. Jumping into a tree is a bad thing to do as we round the final turn and run to the finish line. It's going to be a 2:39. So that was almost as quick as the Lotus 340R, and we smacked a tree in all of that. Yeah, it's only a tenth of a second down on the 340R. Oh, this Tesla is fast. This Tesla is very quick here. So, after all of the cars that have gone in this series so far, it does look like the first vehicle to seriously challenge that Plymouth is going to be an electric saloon car. It, is seeming like a very, very good... Yeah, it is flat out through that turn. Well, I wasn't quite expecting it to have that level of grip. And again, we are carrying pretty good speed and we get great acceleration out of these turns. It can match the likes of the Cuda and of a lot of other cars as well with its acceleration through there. And then we have the power and torque to climb the hills and to keep our speed up through these nastier corners. Right, we can dip a wheel in the water and get the car turned neatly through there. The trick I think we're going to have to watch out for is not to get carried away over the bumps. They are a little bit on the scary side with this. Just we're hitting them with a lot of speed, and it's just on the landings we're getting just a faintest of moving around that I would really rather the car wasn't doing on that position up there. That's not ideal, although we have got away with it. Yeah, this gets turned in surprisingly well as we now climb up towards the next jump. We are well into the water there, unlike the BAC Mono that was hitting long before we got to the water. Was landing long before we got to the water. This is landing very much halfway through the through the splash, so that is helpful. Ooh, a little bit wide. Again, can get away with it though through there. Now this, I think this is where I ended up in the wall last time, so we're going to be a little bit slower on the way in. Get a neat line through that corner. In fact, we're a little bit too slow on the way in. We did get away with, we must have just clipped the banner because we were a little bit to the inside. Not a too smoother a line through that section, however, I'm still thinking this is feeling pretty damn fast from the... It feels fast and it doesn't feel fast. Because of the lack of noise, it kind of doesn't feel like it's going as quick, like 125 miles an hour down here. It does not feel like 125 miles an hour, but there we go. Now we are much neater, much straighter lined up for the jumps, although we're not going to be on this one. Oh, okay, we got away with brushing the trees there. It's a little scrappy end of the run here. Oh, we've overshot that final corner as well. Oh, it was a scrappy end, but that proves the Tesla's speed. Oh, the Hemi Cuda is going to be quaking in its boots. A 233.5. Definitely more to come from that. A scrappy final few corners. We might be having a change of leader. Well, this is it for the Tesla. Its final run in with a very, very good chance of setting a new record down this course. I thought it would be quick. I wasn't quite sure it was going to have the grip, but it really does. This car is a fair bit better to drive than I was perhaps expecting from the Model S. It really is carrying great quarter speed. That's a lot of speed through that section. You really can get away with carrying mega speed, and then we get good acceleration. Where it does struggle under braking is not really as much of a problem. The nature of this circuit, there are only a couple of places where you really need a big break, and that is into the first of the dirt corners and the final couple of turns, probably the other biggest of braking zones. Even then, they're not the largest of braking zones ever, so the car kind of gets away with it. It kind of gets away with it down this stage, because, yeah, we kind of don't have to contend with it. What it does have to contend with, of course, though, is a lot of high-speed corners, and I wondered if the Tesla might come undone through these, but that is not the case. It is absolutely flying through the corners, although that is not quite an ideal trajectory across the jump. Nevertheless, we have got away with it, actually got away with it very, very neatly down the bottom of the hill there. That gives us a good run all the way up towards this water splash, although we do get carried away a little bit to the left-hand side. No major problems, though, whatsoever through there. The rear end of the car is a little bit on the drifty side. It does let go a tad, a little bit more than perhaps I would ideally like on my car, but it's certainly very, very manageable. You're not going to be spinning this vehicle out unless you are being an absolute moron. Again, we're carrying good speed through the next turn. Now we are coming up towards the critical bit. I mean, of course, all corners on this track are important, but perhaps the most important part of the lot of it is the back straight. Getting the bumps, getting the jumps right down there, getting the Tesla settled and planted is going to be the challenge. It is, I mean, the BAC Mono, I think, was a little bit more composed down here even than the Tesla. I know that is a strange thing to be saying, however, that is very much the case. I have to have a little bit of a lift trying to get the car straightened up for these jumps. It's not quite perfect. However, it is cleanly done as we head around the second to last corner. Make sure we get it slowed for the final turn. Put the power down as we run towards the line. It's going to do it! The Tesla has broken the record down this course. It is not by a huge amount. It is by half a second over the Hemi Cuda, but it goes fastest. The Tesla Model S goes to the top of the table. That was, yeah, a hell of a car. In fact, it loses time, I think, towards the end of the run. It's not quite happy with those big, big jumps. I had to lift in a couple of places where I didn't quite have to with some of the other cars. The Plymouth or the BAC Mono, both of them were much, much happier taking those jumps very, very quickly. The Model S, not quite so much. It's just getting thrown about from side to side. It's okay everywhere else. Just the final two bumps down that final straight that give it some issues. However, it is not enough to stop the Tesla going to the head of the table, half a second clear of the Hemi Cuda. I mean, it's miles clear of the rest of the pack. It's 3 seconds faster than second place, the Skyline R32, or what was, sorry, second place, but it's now third place. That is a bloody good time. We thought the Plymouth was going to be a tough car to beat, and it was. Nothing else aside from this Tesla has really got close to it. However, the ludicrous Model S has taken the lead in the rally car builds. You perhaps weren't quite expecting that one when you saw this video. However, that is going to be it for this. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.